This idea that so many people have access to information. Everybody has access
Yes.
to information with AI, but they don't have the context to why that information is important. That context comes from the human layer, and that's where indies that focus on culture, that is what we bring to the table.
When you put in a prompt, and if everyone's doing that, it's gonna all come out looking the same. You're gonna need the indie that's gonna help each company to be different. It's not gonna give you the humanity. It's not gonna give you the creativity. The indies are gonna be the ones that are gonna help these companies be different from each other.
Welcome to another edition of Soul and Science, Crashing Can, and we are at Indie at Large. I'm your host, Jason Harris.
I'm Lindsay Harris, and we are joined by Kai Devereaux Lawson, who co-founded Valerie to build culture-first strategy for brands, and Dr. Charlene Thomas, who has amassed years of experience in the music industry at labels like Loud Records to Def Jam, as well as the sports and fashion industries. Together, they sit at the exact intersection of where marketing, music, and culture collide. So, to start off, we're going to do a vibe check and have some fun. So, what would you say? What is your can vibe this year? In 3 words.
Okay.
Blue water, fashion, and a fan.
Like being a fan of something or a fan?
Literally a fan.
Literally a fan.
Yeah.
And I'd say my can vibe this year is just chill as much as I can and a good kiki. I'm here to laugh, have fun, and catch up with folks.
And have you found that?
I have. I've been laughing with everybody.
Oh, good. All right.
What can you do when you're sweating all over the corset? You better laugh.
Okay, you've been in the music business for a long time. Loud Records, etc., Def Jam. When did you actually start trusting that you could partner with an outside agency and think that they would do right by you?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to be honest. Most entertainment companies don't really use a lot of outside agencies because we have full service teams in-house. However, I do understand the importance of having outside agencies, and especially since I've been coming to Cannes, which is about now 4 years. And it's basically the same thing that you think about as a person and learning and even becoming a good leader, is that you don't know everything. Mm-hmm. So having a good outside agency, as much as we may think we're on the pulse, we may think we have it, it's bringing in fresh ideas that you may have not seen, or even just different perspectives that you may have not tried. So I see the benefit, especially being here, of meeting agencies that like Kai and other ones that I've had the pleasure of meeting, of having just...
Kai doesn't like that, by the way.
I'm just being truthful, right? You want to...
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
But you're saying like outside perspective is beneficial.
It's beneficial, yeah. You know, you can't think you know everything. And even for me at work, you know, I'm a little older in age, and we have a lot of younger artists, and they're like, well, what would you know? I may not, but I am old enough to know. Let me keep in the room with the junior staff and see what's going on with them, or even to ask their perspectives. And I think that's what being a good leader is knowing that you just, even your company may not know everything.
Yeah, I like that. Is it hard to get the folks internally to let you bring in, and they're like, no, we got to cover, we don't need to spend that money?
So as we become more volume-based and have a lot more artists, and our challenge with getting out music quicker and faster, the individual artists, because even though we're a company and each artist is part of a roster, each one of them are still their own entities and a brand. So it's easier to even convince probably an artist, like, let's do something to supplement this. So it's not as hard as it was before. Like PR, we definitely lean to indies sometimes. If we have like a project that's a little bit more niche. So it's getting there.
Yeah.
So Kai, I want to ask you a bit about Valerie. So Valerie was named after Valerie Graves. And for anyone who doesn't know, Valerie Graves was one of the first Black women to lead creative at a major agency. So I love that. It's amazing. How does that shape what you're doing, like that legacy with clients and with the work you do?
Yeah, so we're a new agency, and it was really important for us to root ourselves in heritage. Like I like to tell people, and one of the first ways I introduced myself to Charlene, I started my career on Madison Avenue, one of the very few my age to do that. And so for us, it's about heritage. It's about culture is rooted in heritage. It's rooted in tradition. And so the lens through which we look at all of our work, working with our partners, working with our brand partners, is what parts of tradition do we bring to the future, and how do we tweak it so that it amplifies the conversations of today? And the best thing about Valerie herself is that she's given so much of herself to the industry. She gave us our first project as an agency. We worked with her on an execution in Johannesburg, South Africa, called
amazing.
Afro Games. With, before the LLC was even, the ink was dry on the LLC. And so for us, like, that's what it's about, taking those chances, looking for those nuggets of culture, bringing the tradition forward, and making sure that we are representing audiences the right way.
Does it make you more even choiceful of brands you'll work with, or?
It makes us choiceful about how we approach the audiences that the brands want to speak to, right? Every brand is going to say we want to be in culture. Everyone's going to say we want to do cool things, but you're not necessarily brave enough to really be there, because it takes a vulnerability. And so what we look for are clients and partners who want to be vulnerable enough to admit they don't know, and admit that we can work together to figure it out.
Awesome.
What do you think it looks like when a brand genuinely understands and gets culture, or is just borrowing from culture, or doesn't understand or missed the mark entirely? Because do you have a sense of when you know something's right and when something's wrong, and how is that determined?
So from our industry, we're at a unique place, right? Our artists are representatives of each of their individual communities. So the songs, their vision is representative of a particular culture. So if I had to say, music artists would be your niche marketer. And then we are taking that vision and we're bringing it to the masses. That's what we do as the record company. So being that we have this unique position, we look to our artists first and allow that creative space for them to express and tell a story. And it's even not only just about the communities they come from, it's also moments in time. If you remember, there was a little period of time where every song was about being triggered, right? So they are representative of what's going on. So I think in the music side, and I think that's why we lead in a lot, is we are the first thing that talks about culture and kind of bring the world to understand what's going on. So from there, then brands, that's when you start seeing brands want to align, or they use artists, whether it be music or athletes, to be ambassadors to kind of keep the story going.
And it can be symbiotic, because your artists have their own fandom, right?
Exactly.
They have their own fandom that brands might want to tap into, but then brands also can bring new audiences to the artist.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's what I enjoy about a great partnership, is that I want, after we serve our core, I want that next community, that next audience, the exposure. That's what I look for as being a marketer. Yeah. But it's exactly how you say it.
Because everyone's trying to grow. Brands trying to grow, the artists are trying to grow.
Yes.
So can we figure out how to grow together and make something in the world that will make culturally relevant work, right?
And then for me as the marketer, I want my artists to be seen everywhere. I want them to become mainstream. There's no record that's made and called pop. Pop, the definition of pop is that it became popular. So that's what my goal as the marketer is. I would love all of my projects to start from the beginning and become popular.
Right. Yeah. No matter the genre.
No matter the genre. That's I want the win. And then, like you said too, the other piece is that the artists are also the initial creator. We're here and everyone's talking about creators. They're the initial creator, because they already have this following. They already have people that are buying into them. And so that's why we're kind of utilizing them and their audience to, one, get out their vision, their dream, and then capture some more.
Yeah.
And Kai, what about you? What does it look like if a brand is genuinely getting culture right?
I think brands that are willing to take their time in it, and not I've been on briefs where folks are like, let's just throw XYZ rapper on a track and go viral, and that's our way of being in culture. But culture goes beyond the music. It's also about the relationship with the community. And so it becomes that next step. Are you also doing more on the experiential side and going into spaces, be it If we're looking at Black audiences, HBCUs, are you engaging with them? Are you engaging with youth markets? Are you getting into elementary schools? Are you also being where I read or where I go to school, things like that? Sometimes what I see when it goes south, it's when it looks like a joke, when you don't understand a nuance. And the example I always bring up is Netflix and chill. When Netflix and chill way back, now it's way back, but when Netflix and chill started and folks were like, yeah, Netflix and chill, we're just hanging out. And the rest of us were like, no, we're not just hanging out. There's a little bit more of a nuance that if you don't understand, it's very clear you're not a part of this culture.
What do you guys think of the future of indie agencies and kind of indie companies doing it on their own, smaller groups, a little more SWAT teamy? What do you think the future of that is?
I think I'm biased, so let me just go ahead and toot the horn. I think that is the future for those of us who are passionate about creativity and the full ecosystem of creativity, which does include talent from celebrity, which does include creator, but it also includes the understanding and the studying of an audience. And so for us, that means, we don't always have time to wait to go through 7 layers of hierarchy within a holding company structure. I did that for the majority of my career. Getting permission to say things that I know, getting permission to say Netflix and chill is not what you think. You know what I'm saying? At the small agency level, we can make decisions much more quickly, which I heard someone say before, like we're more nimble, but we're more nimble because we have more information. And when we don't have it, we have those partners that we can pull in very quickly because we know and trust them to make work happen.
And it's great, right? Because you also, as like the leader there, you can trust your gut and your instinct.
Everything we do is instinctiul. Everything we do is based on gut and science, soul and science.
Yeah, thank you for the plug.
You're welcome for that. 5%, thank you. But it allows us to really create work that means something to audiences.
I feel like a lot of what I'm hearing is, if I can play it back, is speed. Speed's very important. And when you're more of an independent, you can move faster. You don't have to second guess everything. And then the impact may be greater.
It's the speed, but it's also the precision of it, because you don't always have the time to wait. And that's what happens when there's too many layers. I have to wait, and culture changes so quickly. I can't wait for you to decide if you like it, if everybody else likes it right now.
Yeah, you'll miss it. And Charlene, what about you?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think the future will be more indies because, as we get into this AI era, and it's still let me go back. Yeah. We're not getting into the AI era. AI has been around. When you call your phone and someone comes on and press a button, that is artificial intelligence. So AI didn't just start when everybody just wanted to start saying AI. It was kind of around before. But when AI, as companies start bringing it in and they're not fully educated, and it's going to take some time, and they don't really get about being that when you put in a prompt, and if everyone's doing that, it's going to all come out looking the same. You're going to need the indie that's going to help each company to be different. Mm-hmm. So until they understand the meaning of or are educated on how to actually prompt and understand AI is just really a collaborator. It's not going to give you the humanity. It's not going to give you the creativity. The indies are going to be the ones that are going to help these companies be different from each other. Because if everybody keeps just putting in a prompt, we're all going to look the same.
I'm going to add on to that, because I heard a really dope, and I think it's just timely for you. You'll enjoy this. Like a really good quote from the great philosopher Sean Carter, Jay-Z, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's this idea that so many people have access to information. Everybody has access to information with AI and whatever search engine you're using, but they don't have the context to why that information is important. That context comes from the human layer, and that's where indies that focus on culture, that is what we bring to the table.
Love it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the rap line.
Oh, no.
You made hoe, make another hoe.
No, they can't do that.
Right? If it was so easy, you could do it again.
All right. Charlene, best part of your job, worst part of your job?
Best part of my job is when I'm at a show or where my artist of mine is performing and seeing the reaction from the crowd. Or being in a different country where they speak a different language and they know every lyric. Mm-hmm. That is, I feel like I've arrived. Mm-hmm. I myself that worked on that project, that's when I'm like, oh shucks,
We're doing something here.
I did something here.
Yeah.
Or, I started with Wu-Tang Loud and they won the rock. They're getting inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm like,
And they helped the Knicks win also.
Oh, sure did.
Yes. Can you say that? Can you say that? Go Knicks. Yes.
Knicks. Yeah.
I just tell you, like, I was 19. I didn't wow. I don't see that. Like a tear's actually coming in my, I'm like, wow. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like actually caring.
Well, I want your job now. What is the worst part of your job?
So, being in the music industry, people just like, oh, you hang out all day. No, it's just that my brand is a human being. It's not an innate object like this bracelet, right? So, being that my product is a human being, humans have different emotions every day. Just like we wake up and we're like, I don't want to go to work today, or I'm cranky. I have to deal with that every day. So managing chaos, which I'm good at, but that can be your worst part of your day.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot of personalities.
Managing yours or other people's?
Other people.
Other people.
Yeah.
All right.
My objective is like, your song is coming out today. What do you mean? Like, why aren't you answering the phone?
Right.
Why aren't you at this interview with Soul and Science? Like, why? Our record is out right now.
I love that.
Kai, same question.
My favorite part is that I am the boss. My least favorite part is that I am the boss. There's
no one to complain to.
There's no, and like sometimes like that gets emotional, but it's like I said it all week. Like my wins are my wins, and it's the first time in my career where genuinely my wins are my wins.
Yeah.
No one has to accept an award, an acknowledgement on my behalf. That myself, my team, and everyone we bring to the focal. Like when we win, we really win. But also when those invoices are due, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. Everybody's looking to me for money. So, it's not the best.
Right. Yeah. It's a challenge.
So one question before we get into a lightning round, which will be fun, but we love asking everyone, do you have like a guiding life mantra or a guiding life philosophy?
Mine is go where you're wanted and follow your people. It's being an indie owner, being whoever you are, whatever that is to you, it often feels very lonely because we're individuals. But it takes a level of confidence to do this, and you got to go to the people that reaffirm you that you're doing a good job.
I probably would have said before, I really like Nike's slogan, just do it, because I like being disruptive and making history. But I would say fast forward to today, it's okay to not be okay. That's what I go by every day. It's okay just to not be okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love that because vulnerability makes leaders better leaders.
Yes.
Lightning round. Do you want to start us
lightning
off?
round. All right.
Okay.
Can I start with the first question?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Try to. Wait, you're gonna ask me a question?
I'm gonna ask both of you.
Oh, okay.
All
Let's
right.
go.
All right. Go ahead.
The first.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Okay. Lightning round.
What's the question?
So music is the soundtrack to your life.
Yeah.
A song from Def Jam, and if you can't think of one fast, what would be a song that's the soundtrack to your life?
God.
So many. That's a good question.
You gotta fight for your right to party.
You have it.
Boys, that's a good one. Okay.
I would actually. I know. I hate to say it.
I might say Three Little Birds by Bob Marley.
Okay. Not Def Jam, but it's the universal.
Yeah.
It's family. It's family. It's island. It's family. Island Def Jam. It's family.
What? So like that hits me?
Yeah.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn. How about that?
Okay.
All right. That's like I want to grind it out. I want to make some shit happen, and I don't want to stop.
We have very different vibes.
Yeah.
If you can't tell.
I love the balance.
That's why it works. That's why it works. Okay.
Just a little fun.
I like that. Do you have a question for us?
I do not.
Okay, cool. The only thing harder than winning a lion is
Getting up to go to work sometimes.
The only thing harder than winning a lion is believing that you can do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, AI will never replace
Kai Devereaux Lawson and the Valerie agency team.
I'm going to say the same thing. Charlene Thomas.
All right.
Never.
No one said that, by the way.
Yeah,
no one said themselves.
They're not high.
But you both did, which is really interesting.
I thought the same thing.
The most important thing for you, if you're measuring one thing for your artists, what's the most important thing to track?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. Once I understand their definition of success, because every artist isn't the same. Remember, there's still artists at the end of the day. Some are just more about, you'll have like a Janae Aiko that's just really more about her craft.
Love her.
Right? And then you'll have ones that this is like all they got. Their family, everything is on their back. So once I understand their level of success, then that's my measurement. So each one would be different.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's bespoke.
What about one KPI for your clients that you would measure?
One KPI for my clients is, do they laugh in our meetings? and that sounds corny, but like literally,
No,
if you're coming to that's why I said like a good key is how you know people are vibing with you. If you're coming to my meetings and you know that like this is gonna be a good time in your day, and it doesn't even have to be the most, but like it's a good time. I know that we're getting that retainer next year again. We're good.
I love that because I honestly think a lot of times we forget to have fun. You know, we just think we got to make it happen. Results. The next thing. We do forget to stop and have fun.
And not only that, but this is a people business, and you want to work with good people.
Yeah.
You know.
We say that at work. We're like, we're not solving the cure for cancer.
Yeah.
No.
Why
I do
is
think
this
this
so
work is.
political?
I do think
By
this
the
work
way,
is
when someone
important,
cures
but-
cancer, what are we gonna say instead of that? You know.
Right. Then what do we have then?
Do something
What
else.
are we gonna say
I
then?
think this work is that important, but that's why we have to make it fun.
Yes.
Okay, the biggest lie in advertising is.
The biggest lie in advertising is that creativity is only for the few.
Biggest lie in advertising.
That you don't need it.
All right. And your favorite thing about being here in Cannes?
Oh my gosh. Just look out the window, the Mediterranean.
Yeah, the flex. The oh my gosh, I have to run to the other side of the Quisette while my partner and my stepson are fighting at home about like who's getting dinner. Like,
Right, you're like, I gotta go.
sorry
Yeah.
guys.
Is there anything we didn't ask that you guys want to plug or that we can ask you?
I mean, check us out, hivalerie.com. We named it that because we want you to say hi. Come have fun with us.
Just keep looking for me.
What's an artist you want to plug?
Oh,
You know,
can't just do one, right?
What's
That
two,
wouldn't be
what are
okay.
two artists you want to plug? Two up and coming
It's like
artists.
picking your two favorite kids.
All right.
Do it, kids.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, don't do
they're all my kids.
Yeah.
They're
The whole Def Jam roster.
Yeah.
the whole
All
Def
right.
Jam
Can't do
roster, the whole Loud roster, my
right.
Rockefeller days, my Slip and Slide days.
That's
They're
it.
all my roster.
All right.
They're all my kids.
Okay, great. All right. Well, that is Soul and Science. We have been crashing Cannes all week, and this is Indie at Large. And I'm Jason Harris.
And I'm Lindsay Harris, and thank you so much for being with us and for all the work you do at the intersection of marketing and music and culture.
And thank you for reminding us to have fun.
Please have fun.
I appreciate that. Soul and Science is a Mekanism podcast produced by Maggie Bowles, Ryan Tillotson, and Lily Jablonski. The show is edited by Daniel Ferreira with theme music by Kyle Merritt. And I'm your host, Jason Harris.